Hey everyone, welcome to the video. I had a user request yesterday to do an analysis, if you will, on NKN versus Bitcoin. This is something that just recently got listed on Binance on October the 11th. So let's just take a look at this. I don't typically take a look at things that have just recently been listed on an exchange. However, this one actually it looks really interesting. So I guess what I'm going to start with the normal disclaimers. This isn't financial advice. You're responsible for your own trades. I'm not going to tell you where you need to enter or exit any of your trades. This is just my opinion on things. So I'm going to start with my my first opinion here, which is don't buy something that was just recently listed on an exchange. That's just my personal opinion, and the reason for that is, when something gets listed, there does tend to be a lot of volatility, and the reason why there's a lot of volatility is because the order books tend to be rather empty. Now, several days have gone by. Actually, there's been a little over about a week. Since this was listed, maybe a little more than that. But one thing that I will say about the way that this was listed on Binance. So most of the time, when you see something get listed on an exchange, there's an enormous dump. So like if I take a look at, even let me see if I can go back this far. Cardano versus Bitcoin on Binance. If we go back to the day time frame and work our way all the way back out here, back to where this first started. Let me just go ahead and hide a few of these things here. I don't want to have this on here, and I'm going to also hide this guy. So when Cardano got listed on Binance, well, we can see there was a spike rejection and then it dumped lower, right? So a good a good curve here that we saw when this was listed. It went up and then it went down. And then eventually we had good sustained momentum, and then we had our parabola here. Not the best drawer, but eventually we broke that parabola and then we started to move our way down, right? Okay, so looking at those pieces of data, let's go back and take a look at this guy when it was listed on Binance. It looks a little bit different. I'm going to go to a lower time frame here. I'm just going to go to a 2-hour time frame. And what we've seen is this opened at it opened at 140, about 149 or 150 Satoshi. And then what we have is we have a good sense of support and resistance. And again, I just be very careful on this because this is something that is, brand new to the exchange, so you have to be very careful. But I do tend to pay a lot of respect to support and resistance levels. So we had a good resistance here right at the open. And I would be willing to bet if I go to an even lower time frame, that was still respected on the lower time frame down here. So let's just go ahead and back ourselves up. And yeah, pretty much right at that point, we had our resistance at that level, and then we had a spike to try and get through it. It didn't quite make it. It was resistance. Finally, we broke through it, and then reclaimed it as support a couple different times. So going back to the 1-hour time frame, taking a look at this, we have this level that is of some kind of importance. So there is a little bit of agreement on the price at this level at 368 Satoshi. So that was our resistance, became support here, and then it was support again before it did a really good move all the way up here to 900 Satoshi. So again, this opened at 150 and then it went to 900. So that is a several 100% move up to 900 from where it opened at 150. So now what's next? Well, basically, what I'm expecting to happen, I'm expecting this to move down. I'm expecting this to move down and hit this 369, 368 level again. And to be completely honest, after the spike that we had here, I would be willing to bet that we are going to move our way back down. So, to be quite honest, This probably isn't the analysis that a lot of people are going to want to hear, but this level right here at 565 is going to be significant resistance. This level down here at 368 or so is not going to be very significant support. And I say that because the support that was built back here, sold when they got up here. So that's why we had this humongous candle wick that we have in this candle. In this 1 hour, we had a huge move up to 900, likely because of thinning order books, and we had our distribution. And that distribution is going to mean that those that were holding the support here are not going to be holding the support down here. So this is the reality of the matter. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am wrong, but it is best for you to wait to see what happens here. If we happen to see something like this, if we see a bounce up, come down here, and a good reaction off of this, I would be a buyer back above 400. I wouldn't be a buyer at 368. I would not be a buyer down here. I would wait for the reaction and then be a buyer on the retrace. Look at moving averages. We see a 20 period hourly moving average, which is our resistance. Here's another moving average that is also showing as our resistance. If I move down here so we can see this closer, we can definitely see that this moving average right here, which is part of our Bollinger Bands, this is an area of resistance. The bottom of this Bollinger Band is likely going to be temporary support, but these Bollinger Bands will expand as the price goes down. Right now, we are about ready to take out a low from a couple hours ago. And then we have this level down here, which we're more than likely going to take out. This level right here is going to be, if you're going to buy now, this is going to be your stop loss. So if you're hell bent on taking a trade on this new asset on Binance, this is the trade that I would take. I would go ahead and buy somewhere between here and lower. I would look to sell probably at about the 494 to 500 range, and my stop loss, which has to be an aggressive stop loss because this is a new asset, order books are going to be thin, I would get out at about 381. I wouldn't set your stop loss at 368 because if it gets down that low, more than likely it's going to break it. So you're looking at a 6-to-1 odds, which really isn't that bad, a 4% loss for a potential 25% gain. That's my analysis on this right now. Not enough history here really to do a good Elliott wave. I wouldn't be looking to hold this for long. On the hourly, Stokes are pretty low. I would expect there would be a little bit of a bounce. The 2-hour Stokes are pretty low as well. And as far as the 12-hour and the 3-hour go, they're also pretty low. So it would not surprise me one bit to see this pop a little bit. I'm simply saying that don't sit and hold it forever because you have a lot of people that are going to be looking to take profit. And so any spike in price is likely going to get met with a lot of rejection. So take profit along the way, keep your stop loss, and preserve your capital. So that's what I've got on this new asset that I know nothing about. Not saying it's got good fundamentals or anything like that. It's simply something new, something that's out there that people are interested in. So yeah, be careful. Otherwise, feel free to like, subscribe, share, and let me know if you'd like an invite to the Discord. I'd be more than happy to get one for you.